Great. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. I continue to miss you. It's been a long time since we've been together at school. I hope last week that you tuned in and you drew your face, your picture of an average face, a portrait. It might have been started in your sketchbook in class, or maybe you started a new one, but I hope that you took time to do that and to listen to all those techniques and instructions that I gave you about how to draw a face, because this week I want you to put all of those things into practice with your own face. You're going to draw not just a portrait, but it's going to be a self-portrait, a portrait of you, your own unique, beautiful, bella faccia face. So you're going to do pretty much what I taught you, the basics. You're going to look at the shape of your face, pull your hair back, look at your face and decide, is it an oval face, or maybe your face is a little bit more round, or maybe it's a little bit more triangular shape. But look at the face shape and put that on your paper. Remember, don't put it too high up, because you're going to want to have room for your hair and other things. But don't put it in the middle either. You want to have room for your shoulders and your neck and your shoulders. And then you're going to divide the face in half, just like we did last week, because your face is symmetrical, and then horizontally 2 lines so that you divide your face into 3 equal sections. And then you're going to look at each of your features and draw them that are uniquely yours. No longer are you going to say, oh, all eyes are football shaped, because now you're going to look at your eyes. Maybe your eyes are rounder, maybe they're narrower. Just look at them and decide what shape your eye is and draw them very carefully under that line, under that top line. And then remember to leave a space in the middle, because you could almost fit another eye in between your 2 eyes. And if you can see that one eye is larger than the other, then make sure that you draw it that way. I hope that you took time to look at your family members' eyes during the week to see which eye was larger, what side of the face that eye was on. And I also hope that you took time to go into a dark room and experiment with your pupils dilating and constricting depending on how much light was in the room. So then go back to drawing your face and make sure that you look at each feature very closely. Your lips, what shape are the top lip? How much does it curve? How much does it peak up? How much does it dip down in the middle? Is your bottom lip a lot bigger than your top lip? Or maybe they're very close in size. And what about your ears? Are they large ears? How much of your ears do you see when you're looking at yourself face on? So really think very carefully about what is uniquely your face and what your features are. And then, of course, draw your neck and your shoulders, and remember that you could probably fit another head on both of your shoulders, so make sure those shoulders are wide enough. And then, of course, afterwards you get to add your clothes, colorful clothes. You don't have to be in your uniform, and hair. And I also want you to add a few other things. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about an artist, Frida Kahlo. I don't know if I've talked about her in class before, but she is one of Mexico's greatest artists. She was born July 6th in 1907, and she died July 13th, just a couple of days after her birthday, in 1954. So those of you who are those great mathematicians, you will know that she was, give you time to figure that out, 47 when she died. She died very, very young. And that's because she had a lot of physical ailments when she lived her life. She contracted polio when she was 5 years old. Now, polio was a very serious disease that people got in the 40s and the 50s, but they came up with a vaccine for it, and so people don't get polio anymore. But just like the virus that's going around now, we're looking so hard for a vaccine so that people can be protected, and one day we can say people do not get coronavirus anymore because we came up with a vaccine, and that's what they did with polio. But she unfortunately got it before there was a vaccine, and so she was crippled and disabled most of her life. And she spent a lot of time in bed, and she would still do her artwork. She was a wonderful artist, and she would even do her artwork laying flat on her back in bed and still drawing her drawings. She was very rebellious, actually, and a very independent person. And she was very proud to be Mexican. She loved her heritage, and her paintings reflected that heritage. So she did a lot of self-portraits, and that's why I'm teaching you about her, because you're doing a self-portrait. So this is one of them, and this is another one that I love because it's so colorful, and she always would embellish her hair. Oftentimes would put flowers in her hair or some kind of embellishment, and she always oftentimes put things around her in her portrait. So she has a cat in this one and a monkey on her shoulder. She has butterflies and dragonflies in her hair. She has a necklace that's made out of sticks, like thorns almost, and a bird on the end of the necklace. And then she's surrounded by all those great big fern leaves that are colorful with different shades of green. So that was one of the things that was very important to her in her paintings, was that she would surround herself with things that she liked, things that represented her, things that were important to her. So after you do your self-portrait and after you color it, I would love for you to put things in the background that are important to you or things that you like. They can be objects and items. Like if you like sports, maybe you're going to put sports things. You like animals, you like flowers, or shapes, hearts, whatever you want that you think represents you, that you could put around you in your self-portrait that tells us a little bit more about you. Now, one of the things I want to emphasize too is when you're coloring this, is that you also look very carefully at your coloring. Maybe you have blonde hair, but maybe it's not just all a yellow color. Maybe you've got some brown in there, or maybe you have dark brown hair, or maybe you have really black hair. So make sure you choose your colors wisely. And the same thing goes for your eyes. You know, you might just think, well, I have green eyes. But maybe if you look really closely, you might see flecks of blue in there, or maybe a little bit of brown, or maybe even a little bit of a golden color. So look very carefully at your features and try to represent them as accurately as you can, so that this would be a beautiful picture of your beautiful face. So I hope you enjoy this, and again, I would love to see your artwork with you in it too. Picture of your self-portrait with the real picture of you. And email it to me. I'd love to hear from you. I would love to see a picture of you, and I would love to see what your artwork is. So have fun. I hope you enjoy that. Remember all of those techniques that I taught you, and I will look forward to seeing your work and look forward to being together with you again next week. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.